Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Not Another Mom podcast. It's time to take that mom hat off because this is after hours and I'm making you off the clock. This podcast is here to help you know your worth because damn girl, you're a goddess who deserves to live the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Leslie Sprague. And we talk everything from manifesting to motherhood. Yes, those little monkeys will still creep in here or there. Spirituality to girl talk with your besties. And from business to finding that balance in life. I'm here to remind you that you are worth it. Life gets to be easy for you, and your dreams really can come true. So grab your favorite glass of wine, craft beer, or if you're a whiskey and diet kind of girl, grab that and let's get this show on the road. Hey beauties, and welcome back to the Not Just Another Mom podcast. I am your host, Leslie, and as always, I am so grateful that you are here with me this week. Yeah, happy August, everybody. I'm not sure where the first half of the summer went, but here we are. So I am actually looking forward to August from a family perspective. We have no sports on throughout the month of August, and so no ball for the kids, and so we get to just chill out a little bit more and not have to run to sports. Although I love running to sports at the same time. You get it, but I'm really looking forward to this month just to hang out and enjoy each other's company. That being also said, we are finding it a little challenging with the kiddos lately this week, the last few weeks. I feel like they have been nattering at each other non-stop. If one hasn't been bugging the other, then the other one's bugging the other one, and it just becomes a vicious cycle. And I think my husband and I are at our wits' end almost. I think we need to unplug and just take that step back. So oddly enough, today I have manifested my mom actually out of the blue offered to come and get the kids and take them to her house for the afternoon and into the evening. So I was like, hell yes. And so to celebrate that, this is where I'm going with this. To celebrate that, I decided to book myself in last minute to the spa, and I am getting my nails and feet done, and I am here for it this week. So, just putting that out there, because if you are in the same position, I haven't talked about kids and stuff like that in the last little while, and I felt the need to just share this story with you guys, because know that I get it. I get where you're at. I get times can be challenging, but a lot of times we can use this as a crutch, as I can't move my business forward because I have the kids at home. I can't do this because I don't have enough time. The kids are so busy. This is why we start our business. This is why we focus so much on the energetics. And looking and reflecting at myself a little bit personally, I have been neglecting to fill my own cup, which is probably why I'm feeling the nattering of them a little bit more. So this is like a little reminder for myself, but if I'm feeling it, I know that you guys are feeling it too. Take the time. This is why I started my business, so that I can accept the support. That's the next piece, is when the universe is there offering you support, take it. Because if you keep saying no, then the universe is going to be like, oh, okay, she likes to do it all by herself and just do it all the time and be on the clock 24/7. Take the time for you. This is like a self-care PSA. This is one of the biggest things that I like to talk about with my clients, is that if you don't make time for yourself to take care of yourself, nobody else will. Nobody else is going to say you need a timeout. Well, maybe if you get like really cranky, which I do it sometimes. I am guilty. And actually, speaking on that crankiness, I completely lost it on the children earlier this week. I had my morning went completely out of plan. But in the midst of it, I took a breath and was like, oh, okay, there's some good here. I'm seeing this now. So I went downstairs to find the broom because we were cleaning out our storage room and finally putting the last of the stuff away from our move. You know how that stuff just gets stuck in there. So we're finally organizing all of that. And so the broom was downstairs. I needed it because the dog had spilled the cat food all over the place. Anyway, to make the long story longer, I go downstairs and find our freezer door wide open. You guys, I lost my ever-loving shit because, like, all that meat that was in there is now completely unthawed. I had bags of chicken thighs, chicken breasts, chicken wings. We had ground beef in there. We had sausage. We had 2 roasts, like lots of stuff. And so I lost it. I think also now I'm maybe trying to justify my reaction a little bit, but they needed to realize the importance of like checking it. And I also realized that I did go a little too harsh. So I did apologize for my overreaction. But anyway, so getting to the part, so I was going to just chuck all the meat because I'm like, well, we're not going to eat all this. But in that moment, I realized, actually, I don't have to chuck this. So I cooked up 3 pounds of ground beef, made 2 pounds of meatballs, 2 pounds of mini meatloafs. And if you don't know what those are, it's just meatloaf, but put in a muffin tin. And then I refroze it because it's all cooked. So as I was doing this, I'm like, holy ever-loving shit, this is going to be fantastic, because we, like, for those nights when we're busy at sports, what I started talking about at the beginning of this episode, when we're busy at sports, this stuff is going to be sitting in the freezer ready to go. So I understand now greatly why so many people love batch cooking. Like, I always thought it was the biggest pain in the rear end, and I just didn't get it. Now, the next part is going to be staying motivated on top of that, but I am super excited. Like, ground beef already cooked, that's the easiest meal. I mean, tacos, for example, are pretty easy already in themselves, but these are now even easier because the meat just needs reheated and away you go. So I'm looking forward to that. So instead of looking at all the lack, all this to say, instead of looking at the stuff that is quote unquote maybe going wrong in your life or not working the way you want it, How do you want it to go instead? And recode yourself for that. Now, when I talk about recoding, what I mean by that is if your life is like a video game, and I talked on this a couple weeks ago in the podcast, but if your life is like a video game, you have access to all the cheat codes. So if you want to create a cheat code for something going on in your life, you have the power to. If you want to create a cheat code for more time in your business or in your life, thus through your business, create that code, set it in there, get it into your belief system. And yeah, it gets to be this amazing. And I'm here to show you, I'm always here to show like that this is like, I'm real. I still freak out on my kids. A lot of people talk about social media and that it is very negative. And I have a lot of friends that actually talk about it this way too. They talk about how it's all social media's fault, that this and this and this. But if you realize like how valuable social media is, I look at social media as it showing me the possibilities of things getting to happen in my life. It's not there to make me feel shame or guilt or things like that. It is there to inspire me, to show me that there is something different out there for me. So I hope that this changes your view set if you have that, but it just goes to show you can flip anything you want. I was talking with a client the other day and she was like, oh my gosh, I have only made X amount this year. And she was feeling very down on herself. And I'm like, what if we flipped your story? What if instead of I only make this amount this year, what if you said, oh my God, I made this much this year, got super fucking excited about it because you made that amount, you weren't working a 9-to-5, you had the time freedom that you have been craving, you will be able to be there for your kids when you needed to, you created your schedule and the flexibility that you've wanted. Like, holy fucking shit. That is insane. So, yeah. This is just kind of like a ramble-jamble episode, but all this to say, you get the power to manifest your own spa days randomly in the afternoon. You get the power to just create whatever it is you want. So if you're feeling a little burnt out with the kiddos at home right now, take the time and take some time for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I hope you have an amazing week and we will chat with you next week. Thank you so much for listening. If you love this episode, will you do me a favor and help spread the love? Go ahead and leave a 5-star review and share this episode on your Insta stories. If we aren't yet connected on Instagram, come follow me at Leslie & Co XO. And since everybody spells my name wrong, that's Lesley & Co XO. And leave me a line and say hi. Have an amazing day, beautiful, and we'll catch you next week.